Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing...
This is the NFL on EA Sports as we welcome you from the East Bay and Oakland, California. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the... Go 49ers and the Oakland Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
What now? 180. Check. Watch 54. I'm on. Tighten up.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd and 12, Carr. Got a man, it's Patterson, complete. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Cordero Patterson, 77 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved his consistency throughout the season. Always good, occasionally spectacular. But right now, he's on the outside of that MVP race. What's it going to take for him to get it done down the stretch?
You're right, on the fringe. But, hey, it's Week 14. There's still a month left for him to make a lasting impression, have some scintillating plays, and then who knows?
Yeah, those scintillating plays, those splash plays, those plays we'll talk about for the next week leading up to the next game. He'll need a bunch of those down the stretch in order to win the award.
Go.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. So that'll back them up 5.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Check right. Watch it, 5. Watch the call. On the fight.
Shotgun snap to Lock. Escaping the pressure right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Oliver. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
As we've seen over the years, offense coordinators will often ease their way into drives. Many of them don't want to risk a turnover and put their defense in a bad spot, but not in this case.
Not at all. Forget about easing into it. They took a shot. It worked. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. He's got it. And across the chalk into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
In your face.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr, the open man here, Renfro. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is brought in at the 21. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lock. It got his man complete. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the...
Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. And the Raiders pick it up. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Lock now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On first down, Locke. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Locke. Touchdown, 49ers. In for the score, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But listen.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Christian Wilkins showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
And he gets it complete to Latimer. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Walker, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. Flush to his right. Malik Jackson. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. The 49ers with the football here to begin the second quarter. But likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. He'll take it at the 42. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 39, Carr over the middle, complete. That's right. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. Carr now on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Christian Wilkins in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Patterson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their third one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. Locke going to throw. On the crossing route, complete. It's Oliver. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football.
Hey, let's go.
That's good for 28 yards.
Hey, Wahoo.
Locke working out of the gun. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 3 yards out, as his guys are able to regain the lead. So not only is that his third touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw his car, and the pressure gets to him again.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Coming off the line, he's been wreaking havoc all year. And look, that's why, as a result, he's getting some looks for Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL.
And I know that many people don't have him first on their list right now, but he deserves that type of consideration. You mentioned it. All year long, he's made big plays and continues to do so. Imagine if he has a big game here. If so, he could vault himself right into the #1 spot.
60 out more. Hey, foxtrot.
Lock now on first down. Past the 20. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr going up top for Miller. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. To throw, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Riley Dixon now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Let's go.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He does have the 1 interception, Charles, but I think that's been more than offset by the 3 first-half touchdown passes.
I would agree with you. There is a blemish, but when you've thrown 3 touchdown passes to try and erase it, that's a little bit better than a ratio that all NFL coaches are seeking from their quarterbacks, and he's giving it to them.
They'll take the 3-1?
Every single time.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 18 yards, first down Niners. Block now, 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Here's Locke to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack on first down, Locke, and he's going to go down again. Anthony Walker picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to wonder if this offensive line just simply doesn't like him. I mean, they've given up 6 sacks in this game. He's had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and obviously nowhere to hide.
And all those sacks in the first half, this is just complete domination. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 27 yards, a big play there on 4th. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw it is Locke. Going to throw deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So we have reached... You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit.
He's got a man complete. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards the final tally. Block now to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 13 yards out, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On 1st down. It's Patterson. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Carr now to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ray. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The 49ers offense now. They work their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Throwing now is Locke. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the first-round pick of 2014. To try again after the sack. Locke. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. They look to throw. It's Locke. And that is going to be incomplete. Or it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run with Patterson. Despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got Miller. And out across midfield, down to the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that...
There he goes, left side. That all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Anthony Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Hey, Charlie, change you stuff.
Throwing on 1st down is Locke. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 32-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Bravo! Check 55 to Mike! Check 55 to Mike! You don't want to let go!
Now Locke again, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you fact nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Carr going to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Following the fumble recovery, it's Locke. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. From 17 yards out. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out. Wouldn't it be fun to play with this playoff lineup right now? Because to me, just about anyone can win this whole thing out of this grouping we currently have. And by the time we get there, it may look entirely different.
On first down, Carr. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Throwing now is Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Locke now on first down. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Now Locke. And it's complete in the end end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. From 6 yards away. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible. Hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. 5 yards on the catch there brings up second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
That's it, baby.
Carr to throw again. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 39. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D lineman.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Carr now on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you get a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or lights out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Leonard Floyd has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
He's a rookie, and you don't want to get hung up on the word potential, but when you see him make catches like that, you keep thinking to yourself, he's good now. He's got a chance to be great with plenty of work.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
No. Off. Snap.
Block now on first down. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And taken right on the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. Locke going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Locke going to throw it here.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Block again here on 2nd and 10. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that will extend this big lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. This is Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now on 2nd and 13. Carr. And this is Latimer, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Carr now on 1st down. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. It's complete. It's Miller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.